So, good morning, students. Um, in the previous session, we had started with module 5. So, as told, there are four chapters in this particular module. So, we had started with the first chapter, that is web scraping. So, good morning, all. So, in the previous session, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in the previous session, we had started with module 5. So as told, there are four chapters in this particular module. So we started with the first one, that was web scraping. So I'll just go through it once again. So web scraping, this is nothing but this is, you can say in simple terms, if you're saying you're using a program to download the contents from the web and later you're processing it. Okay, so web scraping is nothing but you are downloading from the web and you're processing those content, so that is called as web scraping. So under this we have four different modules, so we are going to see. So this particular chapter is all about these four modules. Okay, so we had already seen two modules, that is web browser and request module. So under web browser, so web browser is a module that comes along with Python, so you don't have to install it separately. So under this web browser, we saw about a function called as open. So this open function is nothing but for this open function, whatever URL you're passing, this web browser module is going to launch that particular URL in the that is, it is going to launch the browser with the specified URL. Okay, that is what your web browser is
Ma'am,
going to do. Yes.
we can use Replit, right, ma'am? Replit.
What?
Replit.
See here, for your prescribed one, we are going to see only these modules. Okay.
Okay.
So here it is about the web browser. So for your syllabus, it is this only. Don't write anything else, because the validator is going to get the key of this particular content. Okay. So if they're asking about the different modules, you have to write only this four. Got it? No? Hello, guys. Are you there? Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So for the web browser, you have to speak about, or you have to tell about the function, that is open function. Okay. So for the web browser, the content is only about the open function. So open function, whatever URL you are specifying, this web browser module is going to launch the browser with the specified URL. So in that, you just have a program, that is mapit.py. So under this mapit.py, what we are saying here is, suppose you're going to some site, and in that site some address might be given, street number, all those things. So if you want to check where that particular their company, or where it is exactly located, you can copy that content from their website, that is the street number, all those things, and you can paste it in Google Maps, and the location will be given to you. So that is one way what we can do. But in this mapit.py, so here what we are saying here is, instead of doing all those things, let us have a script. Okay, so that is what is your mapit.py going to do. So what is this mapit.py? This particular project, they have given it as a project in your textbook. So it is just a script. What is it doing is, in the command line you are going to pass. First of all, here command line means over here. Okay, you can give here. So where your particular script is located, that entire path. So I'll just open it. So what was that program? So this was a program what we had seen, that is mapit.py, which is going to that is it's going to open Google Map, and whatever path you had given, that particular path, it will be open, so you don't have to copy paste all those things. So how to run this, I'll just tell you. So you have to run this through the command line. Okay. um, First of all, you need to get the location. So to get the location, you can just come here, just copy this, and here you can paste it, and followed by that slash the name of your file, that is mapit.py, and you have to give the suppose I give sdit Kinja. So these are the arguments what you're passing. So first of all, you have the name of the file, that is mapit.py. Then SDIT is one of the argument. Then next is Kenjar. Okay. So you're separating the argument by a space. So when you hit enter, the page is open here. I think it is visible, right? The page is open, and here if you give search, the corresponding location will be shown here. Okay. So this was your program of mapit.py. Okay. So that was a program what we had seen. So for the web browser, you have this project. Okay. So under this particular module, you are telling about the open function, and you have to learn this particular program, that is mapit.py. So that was already done in the previous session. Then the next module what we had seen was about the request module. So under request module, what did we say? So request, again, it is a third party module. So if you want to use this particular module, then you have to go to command prompt. So you have to go to command prompt, and there you have to give pip install request. Okay. So you have to first of all install this particular module. So I've already installed this, but first time if you're doing, you have to do this. Okay. Then, so what does this request module do? So request module, again, it is having the method, that is get method or the get function. Okay. So this request module allows you to download the content from the file. So under web browser, you have the open function that is going to launch the browser with the specified URL what you have passed. For the request module, you are going to speak about the get function, which is going to download the files from the specified URL. Okay. So when this request module, we are not concerned about the data compression or the network issue, nothing about that. So that is about the request module, and we had also seen some functions. Yes, that's not put here. So we had seen a function, that is, you had seen a program related to this get function. Then, along with that, the next point under this request module was checking for errors. So you have specified some path to the get function. If everything is fine, you have downloaded that content without any issues, or the URL what you specified is present. In that case, the downloading is successful. There might be some possibility that you have given some URL but it is not there. So in that example we had seen was about page does not exist. So in the previous, I request all of you to view that video. So it's there in that. So if you're given some URL, some page that is not existing, then in that case it is an error. So you also have checking for error, that is raise status code. So in case if there is an error, then error will be displayed. That is about checking for errors. And the next point under this checking for errors is handling the exception. Okay. So errors, when it occur, it might terminate from the program. So if you don't want to terminate from the program, you still want the program to continue, in that case you can have exceptional handling technique. In that case, you're using try and except statement. So that also we have already seen. So this was what we had seen in the previous session. That is about the web browser module, then about the request module. So under web browser module, you have the open function. Under request module, you have the get function. Okay. And the last point, what was remaining in the request module is saving downloaded files to the hard drive. So what we are going to say in this is, so using the request module, you can download the contents, right? So you can download the content. That downloaded content, you need to save it in your hard drive, so such that even though you don't have internet connection, still you can get that data. So that is what we are going to see in this particular topic, that is saving downloaded files to the hard drive. So I've already again we have a code for this. I've already just copied it, so just execute this. So first of all, you have to, again we'll go to the IDLE. So I'll just copy paste from here. So first of all, you have the import module, so that is import request. Okay. So request module, what does it do? It allows us to download the content. Okay. So in the request module, we spoke about the get function. So we'll write here. Okay. So first of all, you have import request. You are importing that particular module. Then we said that request module is having a function, that is get function. So here you are going to pass the URL from where you want to download the content. Okay. So that response is stored. So this res is called as a response object. Okay. So you have the details, that is the complete file in this response object. And after that, we said we can check for errors, that is whether the downloading is successful or not. Okay. So for that, you have this raise for status. So in case if there is any error, so for this raise for status, you're passing the response object. So in case if there is any error, then the error will be displayed. Now in this case, there is no error, so nothing will happen. If there is error, then error status will be displayed. Okay. And after that, so I'm just copy pasting. So what did we do? So first of all, import the request module, then pass the URL, check whether there is some error or not. If there is no error, then fine. So the next thing what we are going to do here is, we are going to open the file. So what is this Romeo and Juliet is? So this particular URL, whatever we have passed, in this URL we have the complete script of Romeo and Juliet play. Okay. So we are going to download this. So what happens is, this is a very large file. Okay. So that file will be in our hard drive, that is in my current working directory, that will be stored with the name Romeo and Juliet. So whatever name you have passed, it will be stored in that format. That is in the system, it will be stored as .text file. Okay. So here what we are doing here is, when we are trying to save the downloaded file in our hard drive, we are going to use the open and the write method. Okay. So you can see here, for the open method, the first argument is the name of the file, how it will be stored in our hard drive or in our current working directory. And the second argument we have passed, that is WB, that is nothing but write binary mode. Okay. So even though it is a plain text, we will be that is, you are saying it as write binary data instead of just the text data. So this is for maintaining the Unicode encoding. So we don't have to worry much about the Unicode encoding, that is out of our syllabus part. You just remember, even though it is a text file, you are going to open in a write binary data. Okay. So that is the part here. And the next thing is we are using a looping statement here. So we are using for loop, and what we are doing here is, so as said, this particular URL is having the complete play of Romeo and Juliet. Okay, so this is a very large file. Now we want it in the form of chunks of data. Okay, some, what is that size? That size you're going to mention here in terms of number of bytes. So you can see for chunk in res is nothing but your response object. For that response object you are using a method called as iter content. So what is this iter content is this particular method or function, you can say. For this particular method or function, you're passing how many number of bytes you want to display at a time, okay, or you want to get at a time. So in this case, so that is stored in this chunk. Okay, so what are we going to do? We are going to get chunks of data. What is the size of that chunk of data? That is 1 lakh byte. Okay, so that is what you're passing here to iter content. So iter content method, what does it do is, at every iteration it is going to get us these many number of bytes of data. Okay, so next is playwright. So you can see here, so the total size of your file is this much, that is 1 lakh plus 79,382. So this is the total size of your file, this particular file what you have downloaded from this particular site, that is gutenberg.org. Okay, so that is a project which is having the that is play, that is the script of the complete play, that is Romeo and Juliet. So the total size of this is this. Okay, this is my number of bytes. So what we are doing in this program is we are just getting chunks of data, or the bytes, number of bytes. Okay, finally you're going to close. So if you want, you can just check what is there in this. So it is stored in our system as Romeo and Juliet. So I'll just go to open and I'll check whether that file is there. So here you can see. So here you can see the file with Romeo and Juliet.txt. So this is a complete file which is having the script of Romeo and Juliet play. Okay, so which we have downloaded from that particular path, that is gutenberg.org. So this is a complete file which is downloaded into your system, so that even though you don't have internet connection, still you can access this particular file. Okay, so here what we have done, so total size is this. You are trying to get only chunks of file, that is the size what you have mentioned here, those many chunks at. Okay, if you say one chunk, it is going to have these many number of bytes. So this is how you can save, that is how you can save downloaded files to your hard drive. Okay, so this is all about your request module. I hope I'm clear with this. So under the first module, that is web browser, what you're going to say under the web browser module? Anybody? Dilto is there? Mr. Dilto, are you there or sleeping?
Yes, ma'am.
You're there. So what are the two modules we saw, Dilto?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am.
Ah, what are the two modules we saw so far? went. Okay. So guys, please start studying. As you know, examination is there. Okay. Okay. Next, so out of the four modules, that is web browser, request, beautiful soap, and selenium. Out of the four modules, we are done with two module, that is web browser and request. So for web browser, you have to speak about the open function, and you just have one program, that is mapit.py, wherein uh, in the command, that is whatever argument you have passed in the command line, that particular address location will be opened in Google Map. That is what happens in web browser, or the topic under web browser. You just have only that much. Whereas in case of request module, you have to speak about what you have to speak about what does this request module do. It allows us to download from the URL what you have mentioned to the get function, and also you have to speak about error might arise, so how you're going to check it, you have to tell about that also. And you also have to tell in case if there is an error, how to handle it. So how we can handle it by using the try and except statement. Okay. And the last point under request module is saving the downloaded files to the hard drive. So how you can save the downloaded files to the hard drive? So again, you have to tell it with an example program. Okay. So what is this example program? The URL that is specified here, it is containing the script of the play, that is Romeo and Juliet. So it is a very large file with the response object res. You're checking for the status, that is nothing but you're checking whether it has downloaded successfully or not. If nothing is happening, it means it is successfully downloaded. If there is an error, then error will be raised. In this case, it is successfully downloaded. Then you're going to open that file in write binary. Then you're iterating, that is, you're using a for loop, and you're passing how many number of bytes you want at a time using the iter content method. Okay. So this is all what is there in request module. I hope I'm clear with these two modules. Next one, we will be seeing about parsing HTML with the beautiful soup module. The next module is beautiful soup module. Okay. So in this, first of all, we will be speaking about HTML. Okay. So here is the complete screen share, or only the PPT.
Okay.
Okay, okay, okay. So here we are going to speak about just the starting part of HTML. So I hope all of you know about HTML. HTML is nothing but hypertext markup language, right? So when our browser will be downloading a web page, it's downloading a plain text file formatted as a HTML. So this HTML is the text that tells the browser how to make the web page look. So here we are going to have many tags. So I think in school level only you have learnt about HTML. We have tags which is written in angular brackets. Do you remember, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So any web page you open, it is possible for us to see, right, what is written in there. So just open some web page. I'll just open. I'll open our college site only. So this is our college website. So either you can press F12. Okay, you can press F12, so you can see the HTML tags for this particular page that is written, or the HTML code that is written for this page. So you can see we have HTML, and we have head. You can just check out all this. Okay, so this is one way, which is under the elements. Okay, so this is one way how you can see the HTML code that is written for any web page. Or else you can just click on, now here we have courses. I'll just right click on that, and you can press or you can click inspect. So if you click inspect, it will go to that particular code. So here courses, for this we have used um, anchor tag, that is reference you're given as courses.html, and you are having some image icon with the width height set, border is set as 0, and the text part, that is nothing but courses. So you can see here text. So you can see here text 57 into 57, that is the size. Similarly you can check for others also. Contact us, just right click inspect. So you can see here. So this you can also say it as the develop tools. Okay, contact.html, all this. So any part of your web page you can view like this. So if you want, just right click on this inspect, and you can see Shridev Institute of Technology, it's written over here. Okay, so this is how you can view the HTML part of any web page. Okay, so this is helpful, or you can say this is useful when you need to get some information from the website. So we already spoke about the request module, right? We'll come back here. So just in the previous slide, we saw about the request module. So using which we can download the web page itself, or the path what you have given, from there you can download. But what happens in this case is, using the request module, when you have downloaded it will be a large file. Okay, so that downloaded file is very large. Now we don't want that entire large thing. We want a particular what you can say, particular information from that web page. In such case you can go for another module, that is nothing but your beautiful soup. Okay, so in order to locate the text which we require inside the huge string, that huge string is nothing but what we have got using the request module. So request module is going to download us the content from the URL what you have passed. So that is a huge string. From that huge string you want to get some particular information, or some, or locate text. In that case, this beautiful module, beautiful soup module is very helpful for us. So again, this beautiful soup module is a third party module. So it doesn't come along with Python. You have to install it separately. So again, you have to go to your command prompt, and you have to give pip install beautiful soup, and here we are going to use the version 4. Okay, so you have to install it this way. So again, this is requirement already satisfied, that's nothing but I have already installed. Okay, if you are installing it for the first time, you will be getting like this. Okay, so that is for Selenium. You'll be getting like, yeah. So if it is already installed, you'll be getting like this. For the first time, remember, if you want to execute any code related to this beautiful soup, you have to write the command like this: pip install beautiful soup, and 4 is nothing but that is the version. Okay, so now one second. One second, we'll get back to it. So okay, so we will come back to our next topic, that is passing HTML with beautiful soup module. So what did we say? Request module is going to give us a huge, is this PPT visible?
Yes, ma'am.
So request module is going to what did we say? Request module download the content from the specified URL, but it will be the entire file. So from that entire file you want a particular text, then in that case go for beautiful soup. Okay, so here the version what we are going to use is 4. Okay, so here we have a program here. So you can see here import request comma bs4. So this bs4 is nothing but beautiful soup 4. So if you're using this any function related to beautiful soup, then you have to import. So we're not writing it as import beautiful soup 4. We're not writing like that, but instead we are writing it as bs4. Okay, so here to explain about this programs related to this beautiful soup, we will be speaking, or we will be giving the example with respect to a HTML file. Okay, so here you can see this is example.html. So we will take this as a reference and we will be writing the code related to beautiful soup module. Okay, so just see this HTML file. This is a normal simple HTML file with the tags HTML head title. So the title is website title, and we have some paragraph wherein we have the text as download my, and strong, that is nothing but how, what is the style of the content what you want to display. So download my Python book from, and you're having an anchor tag wherein you're specifying from where you have to download the URL here. Okay, and we have also a paragraph here which is telling learn the Python easy way, and you're also passing a ID that is for the author. Okay, so this is a simple HTML file. We will take this as a reference and we will be seeing other examples for this beautiful soup. Okay, so the first example here, what is given is creating a beautiful soup object for from HTML. So how we can create a beautiful soup object from a HTML we will be seeing here. So first of all, import request. So I hope by now you know what is the purpose of using request module. So for request module, what does it do? It allows us to download the files. So along for this request module, we are using a function that is of request module. That function is get. So what is this particular statement going to do? Request.get followed by some URL you have given here, that is nostarch.com. So you're going to download the content from this particular site. Okay, so it is going to download the main page from this particular site, that is nostarch.com. So that is a press website, and then passes the text attribute here. So that is over here. So here the response object is res, and you're going to check whether the download is successful. So for that purpose you're using raise for status. Okay, so in this case everything is fine, there is no error. So the next statement what you're going to do here is you're going to pass the text. So response object only the text part, or you can say text attribute of the response object, you're passing it to beautiful soup, this function. Okay, so the beautiful soup object that it returns is stored in no starch soup. So how you can create a beautiful soup object? It is this way. You are writing bs4 dot beautiful soup. Okay, so when you write like this, the object that is created here, in this case it is no starch soup. This is an object that you have created for beautiful soup. So only thing what you have to remember is this part. This is same as what you have seen in the previous module, that is request module. Till here it is the same thing, only the addition thing is the response object text part, you're passing it to the beautiful soup of the module beautiful soup fourth version. Okay, and the object is created, that is beautiful soup object is created, that is no starch. Okay, so next, that is nothing but type of the object. So the type of the object is, it belongs to the class bs4 dot beautiful soup. So this is how you can create a beautiful soup object from HTML. So you might get a question as, what is the purpose of using beautiful soup module, and write a sample or the write a code snippet to create a beautiful soup object. You might get this type of questions. Okay, so please, lot of codes are there, so it's not like something you cannot study or something. It is easy, but only thing, don't keep all this for the last moment. Already so much is of content is done. I don't know how much you have seen, or internals what you have done, I don't know. Okay, anyways, so this is how you can create the beautiful soup object. Okay, so you can also load an HTML file from your hard drive by passing a file object to bs4 dot beautiful soup. So just see here, in this example, what did we do? We used the request modules get method, and from a particular URL you downloaded some file, you got that response object, and the text part of that you passed to beautiful soup. This is one way how you created the beautiful soup object. And in the next thing, what we are saying here is, you can also load the HTML file. So here HTML file is nothing but, we already spoke about this. We have an example HTML, we have a file. So we create a file example.html, and we'll keep it in a current working directory. Okay, so that file you're going to pass here from your hard drive by passing a file object to bs4.beautiful soup. So just see here, open file example.html. So you make sure example.html is there in your current working directory. Okay, and the file handle what you got is example file. So that example file or a file object you're passing to bs4.beautiful soup. So this way also you can create a beautiful soup object from HTML. Okay, so again, when you give type followed by the object here, what is the object here? Example soup, right? So when you give type example soup, you're going to get the type. What is the type? It is of bs4 dot beautiful soup. So this is how you can create a beautiful soup object. Okay, next will come finding an element with the select method. So we can retrieve a web page element from beautiful soup object by calling the select method, and for this we are going to pass the string of CSS selector. So CSS is nothing but your cascading style sheet, which is going to tell how our web page will be, or you can say describes how HTML elements are to be displayed on the screen, or in other way you can say how our web page should be looking. Okay, so for time being, for this particular portion, this much is enough. Okay, and in detail about CSS you're going to learn in your web technology. For time being, CSS cascading style sheet, which is going to tell how a web page will be appearing or how it looks. Okay, so we can retrieve a web page element from beautiful soup object. So we have seen how we can create an object. So we can retrieve the element of the web page from beautiful soup object by calling the select method. Okay, and passing a string of the CSS selector for the element what we want. Okay, so selectors are like our regular expression. So in the previous modules we have learned about regular expression. So this regular expression specify a pattern that we are looking for, right? So in this case, in HTML page, it will be of general text string. So you can see here different select method. One is soup dot select div, which selects, or you can say match. So our regular expression is div, which matches the elements named within the tag div. Okay. Next again author. Author, about author we have in our example dot html. Here we have id. So id is equal to author. So who is the author? This person. Okay. So about that we can see. Then notice all elements that use css class attribute named notice. Again span that are written within an element. So I think in the example you just have about author. In our example, that is in our example dot html, only about the author select method we can use. So we'll just see with an example here. So here we have an example bs4. So import bs4, that is nothing but you are saying to import your beautiful soup fourth version, right? And what you're doing here, example.html, you are opening example.html, which is there in your current working directory, and you're going to get the beautiful soup object that is here, example soup. So example soup is your beautiful soup object. So what you're doing here, you are opening, here is your file object. So your file object is example file. So that example file, you are trying to read that function, you're passing to beautiful soup. And here example soup is nothing but your beautiful soup object. Okay. So next step, what you're going to do, you're speaking about the select method now. So from the file example.html, you have created the beautiful soup object. Now for that you're passing the select method. Okay. Select method, and what is the pattern you're passing there, or what is the expression, regular expression you're passing? That is author. Okay. So that is stored in elements, that you can say it as a tag object. So elements you can call it as a tag object. So length, type of the element. So here the type of the element is list. Okay. And next, what is this example? That is len elements. So length of the element. So in our example.html you can see how many, the css selector, what you have passed, you have passed author. id is equal to author. So you have just one author here. Okay. So here, so for that purpose, length of elements you're going to get a value as 1, because you have only one matching author. Again type of element 0. Here type of element 0, that is nothing but, what is that type? It is of type tag. So that is what we said, it is a tag object. Okay. Then element of 0 dot get text. So element of 0 dot get text is nothing but it is going to give you the text part. So 0 dot text. So what is that get text? It is the name of the author here. So this is the 0 dot get text. Then string element of 0 is going to give you the complete starting and closing tags of the element text. So just see your example dot html. So you can see here starting tag starts from here, span id is equal to author, and closing. So string is going to give you the complete starting as well as the ending tag. Then attribute, elements of 0 dot attribute. What is that attribute? That is author, right? id attribute, that is author. So that is displayed. So this is an example which is, or what you can write for select method. Okay. Finding an element with select method. So what you have selected, you have selected the author name. Okay. Next, you have one more example. So, wherein here you're passing P. So, P is nothing but your paragraph, right? So, select gives us a list of 3 matches which we can store using P elements. So, here our tag is named as P elements. Okay. So, using string. So, as we said in the previous example, when you give str, it is going to give you the complete starting as well as ending tag. P elements of 0, then the next one is P elements of 1, P elements of 2. Why this 3 matches we got? So just see example.html. You can see the first P is nothing but download my Python book from this particular reference. This is your first matching. And next matching is this: learn Python the easy way. And the next P matching what we have got is author name. So for this purpose we are saying that select gives us a list of three matches which you can store as p elements, that is nothing but tag. So it is p elements of 0. So p elements of 0 is nothing but the first matching. What is the first matching? Download my Python book from. This is the first matching. If you're saying p elements of 1 means, that is the second matching. Class is equal to slogan learn Python the easy way. Okay, so that is a sorry, p elements of 0, download Python book from. P elements of 1, learn Python the easy way. P element of 2, that is nothing but author. So these are the three matches which the select method is going to give us. Okay, so you can see the result when you say get text. So here you see the difference. Str of p elements of 0. So the complete statement along with the opening, starting as well as closing tag. When you say get text, only the text part of that is got here. Just see here, p tag, that is not written, right? Only the text part, that is download my Python book from which site? From website, from my website. Only the text part is written. Same thing, next example. When you use str followed by tag of 1, p elements of 1, then the complete starting as well as ending tag is there. When you give text, only the text part. What is the text part? Learn Python the easy way. Only that much is displayed. Similarly, for the third matching, or we can say tag of 2, that is p elements of 2. When you say str, starting as well as closing tag complete is displayed. When you say get text, only the text part. What is the text part? By followed by the author here. Okay, so this is how you can use the select method. So if you're getting a question as write about the select method in the beautiful soup, you have to write this example. Okay, is it difficult? The same example, one is str is used, and in other way, other one get text is used, where p elements is nothing but it is called as your tag object. Okay, that is nothing but the matching one is stored in this p element. So p you have passed, p is nothing but that is a tag which should match for paragraph. Okay, next one, getting elements from an elements attribute. The get method for tag. So just see the starting part. Import BS4, that is beautiful soup version 4 you're importing. And here open example.html. You are going to open the example.html which is present in your current working directory, and you're passing it to beautiful soup. And here soup is nothing but your beautiful soup object. Okay, so the get method for the tag object, it will make it simple for us to access the attribute values from a element. So here select span of 0. So span element, so what is your span element? You're going to select span of 0. What you have in that, that is author id. Again get id. When you say, what is the id? Id is nothing but author. Okay, and when you say attribute, attribute when you say, it will be in the form of a dictionary, that is the key value. Key value is nothing but, what is the key value? That is id. And what is the corresponding value for that id? That is author. It is displayed like this. And get some non-existent address, something which is not there. If it is none or no matching, then in that case it is true. Okay, so this is just how you can get the elements, get data from elements of attribute. So the main thing you remember is, when you give id, then author should be displayed. When you give attribute, then it should be displayed in the form of a dictionary, wherein you have the key as id and you have the value as author. Okay, so this is all about the theoretical part of um, which one? Beautiful soup module. Okay. So next we have an example program here or project. So this project, I'm feeling lucky Google search. So this is the name of the project. Okay. So what you're saying here is, suppose you want to search something in Google. Okay. You type something like a test or something. So it is not like you're going TE you have typed. Okay, then it's not like you're going to get only one suggestion, you're going to get n number of suggestions, and out of that anyone you can select, and again you might check for the next one, like that, right? Now same thing, if I say if I want to search beautiful soup module in Python, if I'm giving like that, okay, so you might get many suggestions. So it is like one by one you will click on, and it will be opened in the tab, and after that if you want another one, again you click on that, open in a tab, like that it happens. So what they're saying here is, let us have a script for this. Instead of doing this manually, let us have a script which is going to open the tab for us what we are searching for. Okay, so what is our this project going to do? Gets search keyword from the command line argument. So when you say command line argument, remember you have to give the complete path where your file is stored over here in run. Followed by that you have to pass the argument. Now suppose I have named the file as search. Okay, so I have to give the complete location where that search file is stored, and after that give a space and what you want to search. Suppose I want to search beautiful soup, then that is the keyword what I want to search, right? So that I have to give it in command line. So command line means we have to give here in this run. Okay, remember. And the next thing what it will be doing is retrieve the search result page and then open browser tab for each result. Okay, so for each result you're going it is going to open the tab, browser tab. So this means your code will be doing the following. So read the command line argument from sysargv, that is because you're giving the arguments in command line, you have to write it like this. Sys module has to be included because it will be in the form of list. Fetch the search result page with the result, with the request module. So where the matching has occurred, you are going to fetch that particular page using the request module and find the link to each search result and call the web browser open function to open the web browser. So just see here in this particular program, you are using all the modules what you have learned previously. You are using the open function which belongs to the web browser module. You are using the request module that also you have already learned. Okay. So we'll just see the program. So you can see first line is nothing but the shebang line, which is going to tell us that this is your Python program. Then the next line is just the comment. So remember, anything that begins with other than this shebang line, okay, if you just have a hash, then it is a comment line. Okay, and here you're importing what you're going to import. You are importing request because you are trying to download from a particular URL, you are using the get method. So for that purpose, you have to import the request module. Then you are using the sys module because you're passing the arguments in the command line, which will be in the form of a list. So you're including the sys module. Or next one you are including or importing is the web browser module because you are using the open function. Then bs4, that is for your beautiful soup. Okay, so we'll just see this particular program. So what is this program going to do? Instead of you going to google.com and giving some keyword what you want to search, and after that you are clicking that and opening in a browser, so instead of that we will have the script which is going to do that task for us. Okay, so next, print googling. So this is just a print statement, just information to the user that googling is happening. Request dot get So I hope we all know by now what does this request.get do. It is going to download the content from this particular location, that is http google.com. Search what you want to search, whatever you have passed in the command line. Okay, so this already we have seen in the program when we were speaking about the example program for request. The same thing is given once again. Join sys.argv 1 starting from 1, that is the first argument. So when we spoke about your opening the browser, we had seen the same example. And colon, and you're not mentioned anything, that is your ending range can be anything. Okay, so it's a range what you have given. So it can happen that you might have given one keyword to search, or you might have given five keywords to search. So it will take all those keywords. So for that purpose it is given like this, and you're using the join method which is going to combine it along with the URL. Okay, and raise status, what does it do? If there is any error when you're trying to download from this particular location, if there is error, it is going to raise an error. If nothing, fine, you will be continued with the next step. Okay, so next is the beautiful soup module. What are we doing? What is this res is nothing but the response object that we have got from this particular location, and we are creating the beautiful soup object. Okay, so what we are doing here is in our web page, we already saw how we can in any web page how to check the HTML part. We already saw, right? You can press F12, and the HTML part of that particular page will be visible to us. You can go to any particular location, any button or any link, and you can right click and you can click on inspect and see where the particular code is written. We can do all those things, right? So here we have the beautiful soup object, and select, and you've passed some pattern. What is that pattern you have passed? That is A. So we already saw in anchor tag, right? Ahref, their anchor tag was there. So that is what you're trying to search here. Okay. Select what is our pattern. So dot R is nothing but that is related to your CSS class R, which will be having the result link. Okay. So this is your R class of CSS, which will be having the results link. So wherever matching has happened, all those information will be there in your link elements. Okay, so in the link elements you will be having all those matching, how many a, that is anchor tag, how many anchor tags you have got, all those will be present in your link element. Now next step what we have to do, so in your textbook they have given it as separate step. Okay, so in this is the second step wherein you're finding all the results, and in the third step we are saying as we are opening the web browser for each of the result. So for that purpose here we are using a for loop here. So what we are saying here is, here link element or the matching what you have got, it might happen that only one matching has occurred, or it can happen that any number of matching might have occurred. Okay, so minimum we are saying that 5 matches might be there. Okay, so the minimum range, minimum 5 comma length of link element. So here minimum 5 matching will be there, and after that it can be any number, even 10 matching can occur, 15 matching can occur, but minimum 5 will be there. That is what we are saying here. In case if it is, so that is stored in your num open. Okay, so for I is equal to 0 in range num open, so what are you going to do? You are going to open google.com, that is, since you're giving this in the this google.com followed by link elements of I. So what is this link elements of I? So wherever you have matching that anchor tag, wherever you have got, that is stored in this link elements. So what did we say? It can be minimum 5 and maximum it can be anything. So for all those matching element, a tab will be opened. Okay. So first, if you have given a matching element as beautiful soup, so suppose you have got 10 matching elements for that. So for all those 10 matching element, the browser will be browser will be launched for all those matching element. That is what we are, for that purpose we are using this web browser dot open, which is going to open. So first it will be link elements of I. Suppose you got a matching for beautiful one URL you got matching. So that will be opened. Again you increment. Again next matching has occurred. Even for that browser will be launched again. So this is what your program is. That is for your, that is I'm feeling lucky they have given as a project name. Okay. So for whatever matching you have given, the browser will be launched with those matching data. Okay. So that is about I'm getting lucky. Next one project you have in this, that is about project downloading all XKCD comics. So this XKCD comics, this is nothing but I'll just 1 second. Is this visible, guys? People are there or all slept off? All are tired listening? All are tired or what? Nobody is responding. What is visible to you? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
What is visible?
Congested.
Huh?
Okay. The
XKCD. Okay. So this is what the next project they're saying. That is what they're saying here is in blogs and other regularly updating websites. They usually have a front page with you might have seen many blogs wherein recently updated information, or the pre if you click on the previous button, like some in some blogs they are like month wise or year wise, whatever they have updated it will be like that. And in some case any previous button might be there. When you click on that you will be going to the previous post, then the previous post will be visible. So here in your project, that is the next project, what they're given is downloading all SKCD comics. Okay, so this is the site, that is SKCD. So what they're saying here is in this particular site, suppose you want to download some comics. Okay, so this is a site which is having comics like this. You can see here. So if you want to go to the previous comics, so what they're saying, you want to download. Okay, what net connection is on? Am I disconnected? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Should I
Yes, ma'am.
wind up? Even my data pack is gone. I got disconnected. Or shall I
Yes,
just
ma'am.
do
Yes,
this?
ma'am.
Huh?
Yes, ma'am. Wind up. Yes, ma'am.
You people are tired listening? Okay. Even my data got. Okay, we'll do it in next class. But wait, I'll take the attendance 1 second. Abhay is there?
Present, ma'am.
Abhijit? Abhimanyu? Ebin?
Present, ma'am.
Adarsh?
Present, ma'am.
Afrid?
Present, ma'am.
Akhilesh?
Present, ma'am.
Alan?
Present, ma'am.
Amal?
Present, ma'am.
Amrita?
Present, ma'am.
Anish?
Present, ma'am.
Anusha?
Present, ma'am.
Archana?
Present, ma'am.
Ashwati?
Present, ma'am.
Ashwin?
Present, ma'am.
Aisha?
Present, ma'am.
Bamita?
Present, ma'am.
Bani?
Present, ma'am.
Chanjal?
Present, ma'am.
Diksha?
Present, ma'am.
Demant? Ashita?
Present, ma'am.